Okay, hello guys. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna just be trying to do this one shot. Hopefully this goes well. Hopefully this goes well and I say all the right things, or I don't know. Hopefully this helps people out. I'm gonna just go quick as I can, and hopefully as thoroughly as I can on some of the things I've discovered about the Porsche Cup and just driving in general. So there's in exaggeration, there's two very specific styles of driving that I've discovered. So let's go out. So the first style of driving, I would say, would be brake late as possible, and you just hammer on the brakes, and then you throw the car in. Well, and then you throw the car in. So you go brakes hard, throw it in, and just rotate the crap out of the car, and then exit out real hard. Um, so this can be one very effective way of driving a car fast in a lot of situations. Brake hard, throw the car in, and you can see how much rotation I'm getting. It's like, wow, look at all that rotation, throw the car in. But you can also quickly see the limitations of that kind of driving style. The limitations are you do put a lot of heat and stress into the tires. It's not going to hold up as long, so you throw the car in. Look, oh yeah, see right there I overheated the fronts a little bit through that corner. So it can be a very effective style of driving. You have to have the setup and all of that. But the Porsche Cup, I've found personally, doesn't. This version of it, this updated version, doesn't benefit from it as much. This Porsche Cup, it benefits from braking earlier than you think. A little bit less pressure than you think, and what ends up happening is you have more control over your car, more rotation, and you're able to exit the corner a lot better. You're able to place it right there and then just exit. And because you're not trying to burn up your tires through braking, there. You're not trying to burn up those tires under braking. You actually have tires left for a good exit. So you would never think that you'll actually gain time from braking earlier, but you do even on this corner. It's a perfect example. Just brake a little bit earlier. Here, look, brake a little bit earlier. And then look at that extra rotation and control I get. And you can see how quickly I can go to full throttle because I'm not abusing those tires. So more on this is steering input. So you can see I didn't actually steer very much, and I could have steered more. But when you brake a little bit earlier, what ends up happening is you have now the ability to steer your steering wheel more and turn more. So then you can eventually start playing around with I guess the amount of control and the amount of rotation you have. So then you can start changing your braking markers based on how much grip you have. You actually start finding grip, magical grip, by braking a little bit earlier, turning your steering wheel more, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, look how fast I'm going at the apex. I didn't need to slow down as much, all the things. And it keeps a balanced heat through your tires through front and rear. So I've found that if you can brake earlier and manage that rotation just right, steer a little bit more at just the right time, a little bit more steering force, like this corner, brake a little bit earlier, steer more, just watch this. Turn in and then steer more. Look at that. Not too much, obviously. But at a certain point in the corner, you'll notice very much that this car does like more steering input than less. So that's actually a fifth gear corner. But throwing the car into its rotation isn't going to be quite as effective, especially with the fixed setup. You really want to have a controlled line, use that steering input and controlled brake, and you're going to have a lot of time gained, and especially just through braking early. Let's see if I can make it happen on this corner up here. So brake just a tiny bit before the 100. And look at that. A little bit too early on the throttle, and that's what caused the bad line on the exit. But using more steering than what you're used to, you actually want to feel just a little bit of a tug on the understeer side of it. And yeah, because typically you're going to use a lot more rear tires, because you're trying to get that throttle going to get the rotation out. So you're going to use a little bit more rear tires. And so it's actually an interesting complex that happens. Most people end up moving this brake bias way forward because they're compensating with your rear tires and your throttle to really rotate that car. So you burn up those rear tires. And to compensate for that, it's, hey, move it forward. So your braking is using your front tires. The further back you can keep your brake bias, the better you are on your tire management. Braking is what I've found. And how to do that is brake earlier and steer more. And so, yeah, that's just what I've been finding. That extra control, it just helps a lot. And yeah, hopefully this video helps people. Let me know if you have any feedback, things that you'd like to know. I hope this helps, like I said. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, and have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, whichever time of day you're watching this. See ya.